Welcome back to another Lakeem Learns a Lesson, where this month we're going to be talking about a man's worth. I'm back with my wonderful guest, my best guy friend, Kortel Timmons. Hi, Kortel.
So much love when you said that. I felt all of it. Hi, thank you for having me back. As petty as that intro was, I appreciate it.
So last time was such a great conversation. This time, I think it's going to be even better. We're going to be talking about mental health from the man's point of view. I find it to be, I think mental health is important in a way, just with I guess I can say my profession, my aspiration, my degree, that part. Mental health is important. I think that we are doing better as a whole, being more in tune with our mental health. On a personal standpoint, my significant other, the love of my life, suffers from depression. So I'm always looking to find out more and how I can help be of some service to him. And once again, I was scrolling away on their wonderful, beautiful Encore Studio page, and I came across the picture of the guy with the dark shadow over his head. And I just looked at it and I instantly thought, this is a great depiction of mental health. So can you describe your art piece to those that don't know?
I sure can. Let me shed some light on it. So with this particular piece, what I appreciate about first thing, what I appreciate about the art piece is that it's always open to interpretation. And so when I was having a conversation with Lakeem, she saw things in this image that I didn't even see. And I'm the one who drew it. I didn't even see it. But in drawing this piece, I wanted it to kind of tell a different type of story without necessarily telling the story. So when I drew this piece, I did want the male figure to be cloaked in darkness, to be shrouded in shadows, but I also wanted there to be a bit of light that is shining into this space where this man is. And so that's where, when you look at that image, you'll see that he himself, he is covered in this dark shadow. It's just almost from the top to the bottom. However, that bit of light that is shining in, that is to represent hope and positivity. And that is also to represent God, because where there is God, there is light, and where there is God, there is hope. And so that's what that light is representing in that image. And then if you look, even at the background in that image, it's a dark color, but it's not black. And so that's, again, this representation of, even in your darkest moment, that light is still shining in, and you are not in that place by yourself. So that is what that is real representing. He is shrouded and clasped by all that darkness, but it's still not an impossible thing for him to step into the light and be safe.
Yeah. See, yeah. Okay. So let's just get into it.
All right.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate? Where do you place yourself on a scale of, like, 1 being I am not in tune with my mental health at all, and 10 being I am one with myself?
I wish I was that good, strong 10 and be at one, be one with myself. No, I would say at this point in my life, I would say I'm probably about seven ish, about a seven ish.
Yeah, I think I put myself around a good at this point in my life.
Yeah,
I think I'll put myself at a good 7.5.
7.5.
You know, so yeah, but I'm working to improve, and therapy helps. And what are your thoughts on therapy as a man? Because a lot of men don't want to do therapy. They, like, listen, they just got to the point where they talk about their feelings.
Right.
Now
They
you
go
telling me
off the
I need to go talk to somebody I don't even know. You want me to just, oh, okay, that ain't, I don't need no shrink. They own it.
Yeah, yeah. So, my personal point of view on therapy, I believe it's healthy. Because if you are actually talking to a therapist or a third party, a mediator, whoever, where that person comes in, they are unbiased. And so they can listen to you objectively while you express yourself. So I think like going to therapy and having those conversations it's important, but like you were saying, like also as a man, and I felt like this myself, I don't want a complete stranger in my business. I don't want you telling me what's wrong with me because I want to be the one who is in control of what I feel. I don't want you telling me that I'm this, I'm that, I'm not dealing with my emotions, I'm not expressing myself enough. You don't know me like that. But we have to put our egos aside and understand that one, these people, this is their profession. They're not there to help to harm us. They're there to help us. Because again, from an objective point of view, they see things about us that we don't see. Like you may think your personality is A1. Meanwhile, the way that you deal with things in your life, it makes your personality trash. And then on top of that, the way that we tend to think about mental health when we hear that we only think of things like depression or anxiety disorders, addictive behaviors, things like that. But it embodies not only those things, it does embody the way that we handle stress, our characters, the way that we act around other people, and so that is also something that in the black community, with among black males, we have to get a hold of that and understand that it's not just about the anxiety or the depression. It's also about your character. Mental health embodies all of that.
Yeah, I needed therapy. I had two therapists. I had two of them for two different periods of time, and I needed both of them. And if I did not, I'm so grateful that I have Jesus and I have a therapist because I'm gonna need both of them. I'm gonna need both of them to stay out of jail. So
You're already in jail.
so how important is it to you to maintain your mental health? Like, how important is it to you?
So that's top priority. To maintain my mental health, yeah, that's top priority because a lot of the things that we go through, of course, it's and in the previous video where we talked about emotions, mental health and emotions go hand in hand. So I have to make sure my mental is at peace because, of course, if I don't have control of my emotions, I may as well have just lost my mind, and I don't want to be at that state. So it is top priority to ensure that you don't let negative outside influences come in and disrupt your mental stability. And as men, black men, that is something we have to, once again, we have to get a hold of that, understand that just because someone says or mentions mental health, that doesn't mean crazy. That doesn't mean that you're literally out of your mind. That just means along the lines of you may not be handling things or processing things appropriately. And so there is a mental uh, grasp on you that needs to be released. So of my mental peace, but that's it for me. I'm not letting that go.
Listen, I cut a nigga off real quick. Don't come in here disturbing what I done finally got a hold of. Don't do that. Go do that somewhere else.
I blocked you so quick.
Protecting my peace. Block. That's what I'm doing.
Right. Why you don't talk to me no more? Because you bring confusion, you bring chaos. I don't want it.
No, I don't want no parts. I don't want no parts. Um, that's good though. Like it is top priority. I think it should be top priority, whether male or female, black or white, Asian, purple, yellow, gold, or brown. We all need to take top priority, especially with what's going on in this chaos of a world at this particular time. We need to be definitely be on top of, you know, stuff like that. So I definitely understand that. Um, like I said in the beginning, my significant other has mental health. I don't want to say mental health issues. He doesn't have like a severe mental illness, but he has some, depression. And I also have two wonderful best friends that deal and suffer from depression as well. So I've had a depressive moment, but I don't want to say my mental health is right, but I mostly have to deal with like what you said, like stress, making sure that I'm handling my stress levels the way that I should and all that. Um, so my question is, I'm being married to a wonderful black king who deals with that. What are some suggestions that you might have for me or any other woman that has someone in their life that deals with that? How can we help our partner on that journey?
Um, that's a really good and a really heavy question. Um, because I could say something here and it may not apply to what you need to do. So of course you have to everybody take anything that I'm saying here today with a grain of salt. Once again, nothing I say is law. But a way that you can help aid him on his journey is just um, talk to him and get an understanding of the things that trigger him, the things that put him in that mindset. And so that's just an open conversation that you have to have with your partner, or for other people you have to have with your brother, your uncle, your cousin, your best friend. Those are conversations that you just have to openly have with that person when they're ready to discuss those topics with you. I don't believe there's anything that I can say that will just really shine a spotlight or shine a bright enough light on what needs to be done. But everything, of course, has to start with a conversation. So always start with that open conversation, just trying to understand, so that way you can, walk with that person on that journey and make sure they're getting what they need from you, to help steer them.
I think what you said was really good, where you was like, to conversation is important. It all starts with the conversation. And I think a lot of times, a lot of arguments and frustrations are simply because we don't understand what our partner is going through, and they're frustrated because they having a hard time explaining to us what it is. But if we just sit down and have a simple conversation, this is how I'm feeling, this is what's going on, and there's been conversations I've had with him, and he'll simply say, I'm not having a good day, but there's nothing you can do to change it. I'll just let me deal with it. And then, but at the beginning, I would be like, so Did you just tell me you want me to leave you alone? Like you want me to leave you alone? Like I can't just leave you alone. Like I'm with you for the rest of your life. I can't leave you alone. But what he was saying was, I don't have to. What he was saying is like, I don't want you to stress yourself out trying to help me. Just let me. I'm not as bad as you think I am. I'm not as bad off as you think I am. I'm just having a bad day. I'm having a bad moment. Give me a minute. Let me process it. And then typically what he'll do is that I give him a moment, I give him a space, and then he'll just come back and then we're able to have that conversation. He just needed to process it first. It all goes back to emotions. He had to get his emotions together because if he had expressed what he was feeling at that time, I would have probably took it all wrong because he would probably came off all wrong, and then we would have just had to, duke it out, and then I would have made him dinner. But still, what I'm saying is, you know, we would have got over it, but that would have been an argument that just didn't even need to happen.
Right.
So I appreciate the fact that he takes a moment to process those things and then bring them to me. And I think as a woman, we typically, because we always want to know what's going on, so that and it's in our nature to always take care of something, help something, like what can I do, we don't, we look at it as when they don't talk to us as they shutting down, they don't want to talk to me, they don't want to have nothing to do with me. It's no, he needs a moment.
Just we need a moment to find our way back. So we're in those emotions, in those thoughts, and like you said, he told you that he's not having a good day. He's not in the best place, and there's nothing you can do. So that means that you didn't do anything, you didn't say anything. It's him, and that's a part of him that he has to find his way out of. And so he needed that moment to come to navigate his way, whether it was just him processing his thoughts, having a conversation with himself, having a conversation with God, whatever that looks like. He just needed a second to find his way back so that he could step into the light and actually talk to you.
Which brings us back to the original art piece. When I saw it, I was like, this is a man who just needs a moment. He just need a moment. Let him finish what I can't, he's not gonna hear you right now. It's all this darkness is like right here. He's not going to hear you. Let him keep walking towards the light to at least his ears become light, and then he can hear you. He can. So yeah, that's, I was drawn to that piece. On top of the other fact that the man in the picture was fine. All all the pictures of the men that I chose, they was fine, but I'm managed, so that it is what it is.
I do draw a little bit of me in there somewhere.
Well, friend, I always told you, friend, I always told you, if I wasn't already taken, I would have been. And if you know, but you gay anyway, so
Well, I'm gonna take a sip of my tea.
but technically you bi. That's a whole other conversation. Anyway,
Another conversation. That's another Lakinya learns a lesson.
that's another look here. Well, friend, I think this time I learned a major thing that I can take away, and I think I can apply it to my marriage, my friendships, and everything. That communication, when it comes to mental health, communication is key. It all starts with a conversation. That's what I learned.
And
So I'm so,
to the men, don't be afraid to say that you are not okay. It's cool. I'm not okay. There's nothing wrong with
there's nothing wrong with it at all. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay. This has been fun. So I see y'all next week when we dive into one of them healths. It could be physical or spiritual. Me and Kortel are gonna talk amongst ourselves, figure it out. But at this point, you here now, you here for the journey. So share your journey as I share mine, and we can walk this thing out together. All right. I'll see y'all. I love y'all. Bye.